Hello, my chaotic crafters. Today I'm going to do a 2-page layout, and it's on the Sunflower Festival that me and my good friend Catherine went to. There's a bunch of us that were supposed to go, but they ditched. So Catherine and I decided we were going to do it anyway. And I took a bunch of weird selfies because I could, and all these beautiful sunflowers. They were all mixed together, a bunch of bees. I mean, it was just beautiful. We had such a wonderful time, fields and fields of these sunflowers. So I'm going to do this. So I'm going to use a little bit of these distressed sprays. This is a peeled paint, mustard seed, spiced marmalade. It's a beautiful shade of orange. And squeezed lemonade. Okay, so I'm going to use these. Now, I've never used these on a scrapbooking page, so this will be kind of a fun new adventure for me. But I think it's going to be great. I'm going to put all these little square ones, I think, as a fun border. So I'm going to go get this sprayed, and we're going to see how this works out for us. Okay, the next layer is going to be spiced marmalade. And again, we're just going to do a little bit of a spritz all over it. Ooh, I'm liking that. One of the things I didn't mention before, anytime you do this, you want to just wipe off your tip a little bit because you don't want to get clogged, right? Now, you can get new tips if new spray heads if you need to, but just wiping that off will help with any clogging issues. So if you do end up doing this, you want to make sure that you just keep wiping that off. We're going to do this. One more spritz after this, and we will get to scrapping. Okay, last one. It's going to be peeled paint. Add just a hint of green, I think. Be fun for the leaves. There we go. Then wipe it. Okay, I know it's hard to get the visual because right now it kind of looks like chaos, but that's what I live for, hence my name. So we're going to let this dry, and then we're going to get scrapping. Okay, so I'm back, and I was getting ready to take off and do my thing, and I started a little too quickly because as I did it, the ink came off onto my white paper, which made me very sad. But that's okay. I just waited, and I can cover that up with an embellishment or with a picture. So I'm not worried. I'm a little sad, of course, but I'm not worried about it. I can fix that. So then we're just going to take off this tape. And again, any spot like this, the washi just took, if I'd gone a little slower, it would have been fine, but I didn't. You can cover with an embellishment or your photograph, so don't worry about those little imperfections. We can hide those, and nobody will ever be the wiser that they ever even existed, except for those of you, of course, who are watching my videos. We won't get into that. As you do this, I can already tell on the washi tape, the ink didn't dry because it had like a wax top to it. So you want to make sure that if you're doing this with washi, that you keep your fingers wiped off. Okay, just wipe them off, as well as don't touch your white. Okay, so I'm just going to be extra careful. I take this off, not to touch the white part of my thing. And again, I got some gooberies, no big deal. No big deal. We can fix any of those. As I said, we can cover them up. We can get creative. That's not a big deal. We can solve some of the little extra stuff that happened. All right. So don't let that stress you out. There we go. It's really strong washi and it tore my paper again. It's torquing me off. Okay, so I did get a few tears on the paper from the washi tape. But again, I can cover those spots up with, oops, that's where I touched it with a finger, with some, I said, an embellishment or something fun like that. I'm not too worried about these little spots. Overall, I'm quite pleased with the border effect that I got with this. I think that's going to turn out super cute. But I am going to go wash my fingers before I start touching stuff. So I'll be right back. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is kind of make some decisions on where I want the pictures. And as I said, I kind of did this fun little sunflowers, I don't know, tiny square things for fun. And here again, I got this. I can put that picture right over the top of it and no one would be the wiser. Kind of want this one, I think, to be one of my focal pictures. I just really love that picture of her and I together. And this one here of us in a big flower basket, I thought was just a really fun thing they did at the farm that we did this at. So then I've got all of these little pictures now that can go all the way around the edge for fun. Now, I think this is going to end up being really a crowded layout. I've decided I don't think I care that it's a crowded layout. So we're going to see how this goes. I don't know. We'll see. But I think it's going to end up being stinking cute. Again, I've got this bonker here, so I know I need to do something to cover that up. But that doesn't mean I can't, as I said, push these over, right, and do an embellishment cluster there if that's what I choose to do. So yeah, so all we are going to do now is just decide where we want the rest of these pictures. And I think this turned out stinking cute. I'm loving it. Loving it. There we go. Don't know that I like just those two twisted, but we can do that. And again, as you do this, you know, move your pictures around. You might go, oh, well, I didn't like where that was. Let's do something a little different. Or I got that weird spot to cover up. Let's do something a little different. Maybe get rid of a picture because it just didn't quite fit what your goal was. That's okay too. That's okay too. I've got this selfie shot. Let's tuck that into the chaos because why not? We can do that. We are allowed. So there you go. I'm kind of liking this. Kind of liking this quite a bit, actually. So I've got 3 going up the side here. Okay, so I think I want to match that on this side. I just feel like that's a better choice for me, which means I'm actually short one. I find that a little bit funny. So I'm gonna tuck this here. So I have kind of this matching deal, and then I've got these 3 extras. So for now, we're just gonna do this. And again, this can be hidden with a cluster. This could be hidden with a cluster. Or again, I've got more photographs. So I could do another one of these and bring it down just a little bit. So there you go. All right. Now I've got one extra picture that I'm trying to decide. Well, this almost looks like the exact same flower. Switch that one out. And I don't need 2 selfies at the exact same spot. That's just weird to me. So we're just going to do that. Tuck 2 pictures aside that I end up not using, and that's okay. And there you go. Pictures are laid out. I'm feeling good about it. Again, you can see I've got a few little things, that I need to maybe tuck and hide a little bit. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. We can do that. That's not going to be, I said, the end of the universe to try to tuck and hide those things. Okay? So don't let those kind of weird little flaws slow you down or make you question everything. You can easily step in and go, okay, what can I do to fix that? Didn't turn out perfect, didn't turn out exactly like I wanted it. That's all right. That's okay. We can do something a little bit different to fix that. Okay. So I went ahead and secured all of the pictures down and this, but now I've got all these little embellishments that I want to do. And again, I've got a few hot spots that I'm going to need to cover. So one of the things I did was, this is the original leaf. And I trimmed this so that I have a second set. And these are, I think, a Paper Studio, and it comes with a bunch of different style leaves, but these were the only 2 that looked to me sunflowerish. If I had eucalyptus or ferns, that would have been fantastic. But I'm dealing with sunflowers right now. So I trimmed this to give me another set. I think I'm going to go ahead and trim this one for another set as well. And that way I can spread these leaves out a little bit and help me do a little bit of the, hiding some of my sad little faux pas that happened. Sad little faux pas that happened. That's all right, because part of the process and fun of doing your art is figuring out what worked, what didn't work, what mistakes. Oops, that was a mistake. Let's do something a little different, and let's do something creative to solve the problem, right? So that's what we're going to do today. That's what we're going to do to solve some of this weirdness that I created, because I am me and I create chaos. It's what I do, what I live for. So what we're going to do is just trim these down. Okay, so that's all I did, is I just trimmed this so that, again, now I've got a whole nother set of leaves that I can work with to solve some of my chaos. I don't have a lot of chaos, but I do have some. So I need to cover some of this up. Now I also had some of these wooden leaves, which I thought were really pretty. I painted some green. I haven't decided I'm going to use these yet, but I really think they're, as I said, they're really just lovely. And I think that they would be a nice addition, but I don't feel like they go quite well enough with these. So I don't think I'm going to use them. Even though I painted these green for it, it's not like I can't use them for something else. So I'm going to set those aside, I think. Don't know. I might come back to it, because you just never know with me. So I am going to use this one here because I've got this kind of bigger faux pas. and a little bit bigger space right there. And then I've got a little bit here, not a lot, but a little bit. So I think I'm going to tuck this right along this edge. Okay, just a little bit. And unless you're looking for some of this, you wouldn't, if you were just looking at this page and going, oh, those are pretty flowers, you wouldn't notice some of this. But because my art, I'm working on it, I'm noticing some of those. Not a big deal, not a big deal, but I'm noticing them. So I'm going to go ahead and make some ways to solve a little bit. Again, I don't need to do a lot, I don't think. Not even sure I need a flower on that one. I think I can just get away with just the leaves tucked perfectly right there. And I think that solved that one. And again, I've got the stem kind of out in Timbuktu, but so maybe I'll do that with it. Kind of looks like it goes to that flower. Have this kind of pretty little wrapping thing happening, right? Oop, I got the spare flower sitting in the middle of nowhere. So I could just completely do like a little flowery wrap, which solves some of my problem. I feel like this is covering this picture just a little too much. So I haven't, I don't know, maybe, we'll see. But over here, I really do like that. By the way, I looked, these are from Paper Studios, and it doesn't tell me what they're made out of. And I should know, it almost feels like a coffee filter is what it feels like. Is it a little fabricy, a little papery? I don't know. So that solves that problem. A little bit of that tear there. I think this is going to solve this problem, but I think this is a little smaller flower. I tucked that there, and one of these ones here. Again, a little too much, I think, covering the picture. Sometimes you got to just get a little creative, solve the problems, though. And that's okay. Actually, I kind of like that. Works for me. Won't work for everybody. And that's all right. Some of you might go, Wiley, that was your choice? Yep, it was. Because you know why? Said it once and I'm going to say it again. Your art. You do what's going to bring you the most joy. And that's all that matters. Now, these are kind of a clear plastic. Oh, so sad right now. So sad right now. Let's see if we can save it. I don't know that I can. Oh, I'm so sad right now. So let's see what I can do to get the glue off this picture. I don't know that I can. Don't know that I can. Let's see. So sad. Makes me want to say bad words. I'm not going to lie to you. You know what? In the right light, you can kind of see a little bit of smearing, but otherwise you can't. So I'm going to call that good. But another reason you want to use maybe the proper tool to do the job. Just saying. Probably wouldn't have dropped it. Just saying. Just saying. So sad. So sad right now. Okay. Same with the sunflower. Hold on to it because anything's possible. Doesn't take a lot of glue to get these down. And again, I'll probably do a little bit of journaling, not a lot. As I said, it doesn't need a lot. But with this empty space right here, I could easily put the date and, who I'm with, which I think, that's a good choice. Otherwise, I don't know that, again, I need a whole lot of anything. So I think we're just going to put some of these down again. I'm going to hold it because so sad right now. I'm hoping I can find a way to solve that problem. Okay. Again, I've got this weird little spot right there. So I'm going to tuck this kind of under the edge of this. There we go. There we go. Then I think I'm going to do this guy next. And then this set of leaves. And then the flowers over the top. That's what I think I'm going to do. Kind of over the edge of this back of the old pickup truck they had decorated. It was very lovely. As I said, the Nelson Family Farms did a wonderful job at decorating and making a fun festival for everybody. So there we go. And I'm going to go ahead and do this next, the bigger flower here. Just a little bit more, I think. Because that's kind of my center focal. There we go. Hold that down for just a beat. Still cannot believe I dropped that there. So sad. Then this one here, right here. And you know, I'm kind of liking this whole little twirl thing going on. Wasn't the plan necessarily, but you know what? That's what's great about your art. You can just go in whatever direction it ends up needing to go in, and that's okay. I'm going to push that up just a little bit onto this one. There we go. There we go. I do have this. See if I can lift some of that glue. We'll see. I don't know. I can't believe I did that. So sad right now. So anyway, it's going to be what it's going to be. Add date and people in the picture there. And otherwise, I feel good that it turned out really cute. Hid all my weirdnesses quite easily. There you go. Double page layout with my beautiful friend, Catherine. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. Hopefully it gives you some fun ideas on how to, well, watch somebody make mistakes and fix them, I guess. Used some fun inks. This is a fun way to do this. Could have also sprayed strips and then glued the strips down. It would have been a little bit of a different look, but that would have been a good look as well. So don't be afraid to just experiment a little bit. Not a big deal, right? I've said it before. I'm going to say it again. Just paper, just ink. Not a big deal. If you did this and you went, wow, that did not work at all like I had planned, do something different, right? Not a big deal. Enjoy your art. It's about the journey, not necessarily the destination of your art. So just embrace having fun. Please give me a like and a subscribe. Tell your friends, hey, watch Teresa's Chaotic Creations. She's fun. And I will see you next time.